Going south from the city of Shigatsu, the southern Tibetan Valley contains some of the best grassland for livestock, and therefore the best place for towns and settlements as well. Yet the Himalayas ahead and the heavy breathing that comes with the altitude keep reminding us that we are not far from the highest point on the surface of the earth, Mount Everest.
师傅，你刚来这边的时候开车会不会感觉心情好？
那肯定嘛，感觉到
是吧？
就是走的有点累，
走的有点累。
Our planet has built mountains in a way that leaves us constantly moving through climbs and descents. While that may be a nightmare for hikers, it also gives travelers a rare chance to adjust to the altitude step by step. And for those heading towards Mount Everest, Gawula Pass is the first major climb. At around 5,200 meters above sea level, it stands at nearly the same elevation as Mount Everest Base Camp. And by the way, are you confident in telling the difference between 8,848, 8,516, or 8,027 meters? Because Gawula Pass is the only place on Earth where you can see 5 peaks over 8,000 meters side by side.
珠峰1小时路程的地方，估计也得是全是大雪，最后全是土一样。
Mount Everest is supposed to be just over there. It's currently almost the time of sunset, around 7:30 p.m., which should be the perfect time for the scenery of the setting sun and having the sunset directly to Mount Everest. But we see if we're gonna have the luck today.
Just as I was starting to lose hope because the sun seemed to have set for everything around us, I almost forgot that at 8,848 meters, the summit could still catch the last sunlight, even when everything else was already in darkness. At 9:30 p.m. in Tibet, when sunlight had already left most of Asia and was bringing morning to America, a final trace of light could still reach the peak of Mount Everest at an extremely low angle, so low that it had passed through almost half of the Earth's atmosphere, arriving much warmer in color and turning the snow from white to gold. Coming down again and heading west along the southern Tibetan Valley, between the Himalayas and Gandas Range, the variety of landscapes is actually beyond expectation. High altitude guarantees cooler temperatures, but not humidity. So, within just one day's drive, areas with more moisture can support rich grassland and livestock, while drier places turn into darker meadows, bare plains, or even deserts, lying just beside giant lakes. And science rivers and oases provide most reliable conditions for settlement. Places like these naturally become stopping points along the way, just like our destination for today, the Payang Town, an oasis settlement on National Highway 219, and also an important supply point for travelers and pilgrims heading toward the secret mountain of Kailash, where we shall hike in the next episode.
Here in the Tingri region, with an average elevation of more than 4,600 meters, it's pretty unbelievable that you get to experience deserts, grassland, oases, and ice mountains all within one day. And I mean, this further proves the saying that the good views are always on the road.